Cool. Well, hello, AOSR YouTube channel, and whoever else is watching. My name is Leona Francois, and I'm from the Netherlands. And I'm an AOSR alumni. I used to be here from 2010 until 2016, when I graduated and went onwards to Paris for university. And during my time at university, I did a 800-kilometer trek through northern Spain, which inspired me to write my first book, On My Way, 800 Kilometers to Destination Self, which is later followed by my second book, Being Human, Create Life by Your Own Design, which is precisely why I'm here today, back in Rome after 7 years of not being at AOSR. I came back to visit and to talk about my books, but not just only the writing process, but how life has gone, and how what being a writer is like, how to manage it with my day job, because writing doesn't always feel, financially sustainable, but how I still find ways to make it work, how I get that excitement going, what drives me. And I had the opportunity to talk in front of the middle school this morning. We had an assembly, and I was the first post COVID guest, which was very cool. I feel very honored. And after that, I went to my old French teacher's class, Mr. Datilo, and talked a little bit in French. So I got all the languages in today: English, Italian, French. Only missed Spanish, but I saw my old Spanish teacher too, Miss Arce Rivera, and Dr. Mellis. But it's just been a blast to be back and to get to talk and to share a bit about my story, and also just the path of going to university, but then figuring out life after that, work, and how to make your passion something that can coexist at the same time. So to tell you guys a bit more about my books, for those who couldn't be here today in person, my first book, On My Way, I wrote in 2020, yeah, in 2021. And I published it 3 years after I took the original walk that I did in Spain. I was 19 when I did the walk, and when I published the book, I had just turned 22. Um, and the book was really, well, I've always loved reading, and I've always loved reading about travel and about people. And I always felt like something was missing in the books I read. I always missed kind of the before, like what happens that makes someone want to go on such a big journey, whether it's walking or hiking or, a boat tour around the world, you name it. And I always really miss the after. So you have this very cool trip, and usually a big travel trip impacts you in some sort of way. And I never really read about what happens to people. What do they think about? How do they integrate into their lives again? Do they change up their lives completely after this? And I decided eventually that if I couldn't find it anywhere else, I might as well write it myself. And I'd already kind of been on the writing scene for a little bit. I wrote online articles for my university newspaper. I was part of the yearbook, doing a lot of copy and editing here at AOSR. And that's something I carried on to after university. So deciding to write the book didn't feel like the big deal. I think deciding to publish it felt like a bigger deal, because when you're writing it, it's really your own. And then the moment you put it out there in the world, in a sense, it loses its connection to you, because other people can take the story and pick and grasp the pieces that they need. But it's not always about the experience as a whole. But it's been cool, and it's been amazing to be able to share that story and to now see it in my own high school library is quite surreal. And then my second book, on Being Human, Create Life by Your Own Design, was recently published in September 2022. And that is a collection of 24 interviews turned stories about young people between the ages of 20 to 34 who are figuring out how to create their life in a way that suits them, and isn't always in the lines that society sketches for us. It talks a lot about how these individual people came over a hardship in their life, a challenging decision, or maybe a traumatic event, and how they managed to create kind of their own path, and how they figured out along the way what that was meant to look like. And that was really fun to write too. There's about 7 AOSR alumni in the book, including me and my brother and sister. And then some friends that I had here in middle school and in high school. It includes other international people that I met at university, some strangers, some friends of friends. And that book was cool too because I wanted to travel and take photos while writing it. And instead, I did Zoom interviews, and my sister, who's an artist, did line drawings. So it didn't end up how I thought it would end up, but I think the result is better than how I could have imagined it. And now I am currently working on something creative for my third book. It's not yet concretely defined, but it'll be somewhat about travel and about life. The most important thing I'm trying to grasp is to have it be honest and to have it be something people can really resonate with and isn't just a fairy tale story. But besides that, I have this awesome little podcast video that I'm on today.
These are your books.
Oh yeah, these are my books. My assistant here is trudging them over. So this is the first one, On My Way, with a picture of me on my walk. And then this is the second one, Being Human, with also has drawings and sketches done by my sister, which is really fun. It's cool to work with family. Little drawings inside. I don't know if people can see these, and then of people. But these are both very fun to write, and I think writing is something that's my passion. So whether it'll be books or not, I will probably always continue writing. And get to speak about writing. I get to go to another class after this. I get to talk with some more middle schoolers about what it means to write and how to find kind of like resilience in that and self-identity. And then tonight I'll be back on a flight to Amsterdam, but I'll definitely be enjoying all the excitement and all the questions and the interest I've gotten today from students and faculty and yeah. Am I missing anything?
Where can they find the books?
Yeah, where you guys can find the books. Well, if you're an AOSR student, you're lucky, and they're in the library. Otherwise, you will have to check them out on Amazon, or I think some local similar Amazon sites work too. Or you can check out my Instagram, which is leona.francois. I think it'll be in the comments section or the description of this video too. But yeah, and always feel free to reach out. I love connecting with readers. I love hearing what people think, and I love hearing stories of other writers or just other people and their own experiences. So thank you very much, and I hope to be in touch soon. And thank you, Walter, for organizing everything.
Pleasure. And stream, we did it.
Nice.
Wow.